So we're on another adventure on our Cornwall trip.
Another adventure.
So we've come to the place where we believe Pamela Coleman-Smith,
Yes.
the artist known as Pixie, is said to be buried in an unmarked grave. So we have no idea where she is.
No one has any idea where she is.
Nobody has any idea where she is.
Apparently by a far wall of the churchyard.
And last time we came here was with our good friends Christopher Hughes and Ian Gibbs, and we just came and said a few words and just acknowledged her gift to the world in her interpretation of the tarot images, which are basically the standard by which most tarot decks are set by. So,
Through those
which way are we going?
Up through there.
Up through there.
And around the back. Yeah.
So up round the
Yeah.
church. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if it was in
No.
this beautiful
No, it's
place,
not in that one.
which is just as lovely. But no, it doesn't look familiar. So we'll go up the church stairs.
So for years, those tarot decks, I knew them as Rider Waite decks.
Yeah.
The Rider Waite Tarot. And that is
Stairs.
A. Waite, who was a member of the Golden Dawn.
Yeah.
Rider were the publishers. And the artist who put all of the images together was Pamela Coleman-Smith, or Pixie. And she wasn't even really acknowledged, was she?
Oh, she was a woman. Why would she be acknowledged at that particular time?
Yeah, absolutely. We are talking
Sorry
about
to be
that.
cynical and all that, but I
But
can't
it's-
help it. My feminist bit comes out.
But I think that's true as well, although they, yeah. And so A. Waite kind of came up with ideas for the images.
But
She put it all together and she added so much more, I think, than he came up with.
Yes.
And that is the Rider Waite Tarot deck that a lot of the tarot decks are based upon. And then over the last few years, they've actually started to acknowledge Pamela Coleman-Smith, and it's been called the Rider Waite Smith deck, or the RWS, as they say. And so she's been acknowledged, and she ended up, I think, dying, pauper, which is ironic considering how many people around the world have her tarot deck on their shelves, her artwork on their shelves,
or kind of, interpretations of.
Yeah.
I mean, she's been one of the most influential artists of esoterica,
Yeah.
really, if you look at it, with barely any acknowledgement until very modern times.
Yeah.
Which,
Very recently.
to me is almost criminal, really.
Died a pauper and is buried somewhere in this churchyard in an upmarked grave near a far wall, which is around the corner here. So let's have a walk.
And we're in Bude, in Cornwall. I'm not sure if we actually said where we actually were. So let's take you on a bit of a wander round, see what we can see. I mean, it's a beautiful, peaceful place. And look at all these. The sun's come out. It was absolutely tipping with rain again just now. But look at it. Oh, look at the orchids. Little orchids. All through the...
Whole load of orchids.
Look at this. How beautiful is that? All through. And the clover. And the birds twittering away. What a lovely thing.
Come on.
You can see the town of Bude out there as we wander round. The big old church, massive old church. I didn't really start to understand the Rider Waite Tarot, Rider Waite Smith Tarot, until I did Chris Hughes's tarot course and learned a bit about the Kabbalah. It wasn't something that I'd really looked into much before. Oh, look at that tiddy-widdy little watering can.
Look how overgrown this area is.
Oh, crikey. I mean, it's just beautiful. But, I mean...
So, I think the wall, when we came here with Chris, we came up here.
I think it was up here,
It was up here, yeah.
I think so. We just had to kind of, from the descriptions, have a bit of a guess about where she might be. So... And,
so this is the far wall
yeah.
along the back here. So
and there was woods mentioned, wasn't
yeah,
there?
that's
And
right.
There's the woods.
yeah. So the chances are Pamela Coleman-Smith, the creator of the images of the Rider Waite Smith tarot deck that has influenced countless other tarot decks that you're probably using, to be honest with you, if it's not the Rider Waite tarot deck, is probably
In amongst the foliage, somewhere around here.
along this wall, on the edge of the wall and the woods.
The last time we came here was very early spring. What was it? 2019 maybe? Because I think it was just before lockdown, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
there were daffodils.
Well, it might have been March 2020, because that was the
okay.
last PF Devon and Cornwall.
That's
Or
right.
not, it wasn't then. It was the Phoenix PF. It was the Phoenix Southwest Conference that we.
That's right. I think it was.
And that was the last sort of pagan festival that we went to for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And little did we know what was ahead of us. But I think that's when we came here with Christopher
Chris and
Ian.
Ian. Yeah.
And we kind of looked around, and this area here seemed to.
It felt right, didn't it?
It seemed to tick all the boxes, and all
Yeah.
of the things that has been said about where her remains were finally put to rest was at the rear.
Oh. There we
At the
go.
rear of this church, by the wall, next to the woods.
Yeah.
So, Pamela Coleman-Smith, we're here again, and we tell you and let you know how much influence your artwork had and is still having.
And how much we honour you for it, and thank
Indeed.
you for it.
And thank you for it. So, yeah.
It gives wisdom and insight to so many people across the world. Your influence goes far, far beyond anything I think you or Mr. Waite could ever have imagined.
Yeah.
With the Golden Dawn and all of that. I think they were members of the Golden Dawn,
Yes,
weren't
that's
they?
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, here comes some rain. But we just wanted to come here and tell you how much we were grateful for your artwork and for you and for your life.
Come
You're
and
an unconventional soul, and hurrah for that.
And so her other artwork was fantastic
Beautiful
as well.
artwork.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
We've got a big book at home. Which
Very big book.
I will put up on the video just so that you can flick through it. It's a beautiful, beautiful book.
And it's about time that she got the recognition she deserves.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad we've come back, so it wasn't a one-off. So you know, it wasn't like, hello, we're off.
Yeah.
No, we're still thinking of you, and we're here again. And yeah, thank you.
So, this is Boscastle Harbour. Look at that. Granite and the wild elements. How fabulous.
I don't know if I've mentioned that I was born in Cornwall.
And was your father a toolmaker?
My father was a toolmaker. But yeah, so I was born here. But we moved away when I was 3. So all my memories of Cornwall really are holidays after that. I've got a few memories when I was 3 that I can kind of identify. And so for most of the life, lived in Sussex. Oh, hello. Most of life I lived in Sussex. But you know, on place of birth, Redruth. I always felt a huge connection with Cornwall, and every now and again I kind of think, right, that's it. I've got Cornwall out. I'm done. I'm good. I'm Sussex, and that's it. And then this is the place I come, and I start to well up because I hear those waves, and as you walk up this path, suddenly the Atlantic comes into view, and there's a blowhole here as well that's underwater at the moment, but suddenly when it's at a right moment in time, it just goes woof, and it echoes around these
all around the cliffs,
granite,
it's amazing
slate cliffs, and I just go, no, you know. So you can belong to lots of places, I think, you know, and there's a part of my soul that belongs down here and always will, you know, and there's a part of my soul that belongs to Sussex too, and that's fine, because, you know, I'm a Gemini, so one of me lives down here and the other one lives in Sussex. It's fine. It all makes perfect sense to me. Boscastle Cliffs, or Bob's Castle, as Zach used to call it when he was a little boy.
Oh.
We're going to Bob's Castle.
Bob's Castle.
Yeah.
It's a drear day. But
I don't know if you can pick up the Guardian on the top there. It's probably too far away.
don't know.
But that face staring out to sea.
So there's a little
remarkable
face right on the very top. Almost looks like a top knot. But through the camera, when I'm looking at it, almost looks like a lion's face, the whole headland. Looks amazing. I don't think you can hear, I don't think the sea is strong enough to hear the boom. There's caves underneath. But when they're really crashing in, they boom in and you can feel them all through the rocks. And down in the little harbour there, 3 selkies without their skins, swimming.
I don't even know whether or not these microphones can pick up that sound, and if this is going to pick up the roughness of the sea just beyond the harbour. So you've got the harbour here so calm, and then you come around this corner and there's the Atlantic Ocean just beyond the headland there. Oh, that's the sound. And then up there you can see the Guardian looking out to sea.
So this is the path so far. There we go. That's where we're going. The road. The rain's come in. Oh my God, look. Dave's up there with the dog. I'm right on the cliffs. Oh my God, look at it. Good job we both got our raincoats on. And then the song came out. So, it's the famous Witchcraft Museum, Boscastle. It used to be somewhere else before they moved it here. I can't quite remember where. But we've been in, but we're not allowed to take the dog this time, so yes, worth a visit.